Yes, 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 yes.
The number one dance in the 1980s was the Running Man. Check this out. Facing side, I want you to bring one of your legs up, step on it, and slide your other foot back. So it goes hop, step, hop, lunge. Now get into it. All right, you keep dancing now. See you in the 90s.
Now I'm going to teach my step called the Running Man. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
In order to do the Running Man, what you have to do is you have to start with one leg up to the knee. You have both arms bent. Now what you do is you put this leg down to the floor and you slide the leg that you're standing on to the back. As you do that, you straighten your arms.
Hi, I'm Lisa Kide, and this is Freestyle. Let's move on. Our next step is a running man. Again, this is another very popular step. It gives the illusion of running on air. And 1 and 2, and that's it. Arms to the side, let them come back. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Yeah, that was good.
Now we're doing the Running Man. You can actually feel by kicking it back.
What is
This
going
is variation
on?
of what Hammer does.
The show is out of control. Happy Friday, everyone. Chris Gore here on 0 Cups of Coffee, but we're doing a show. It'll be a shorter show today, but we got news. We got Allening. We got breaking news about Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and reviews of The Running Man and more. So let's start the show. I'm going to just start it correctly now. Let's go.
Alan!
What do you think?
Yeah.
The Running Man. Did you ever do that?
Your camera has stage fright.
What?
You're very fuzzy.
I'm very fuzzy right now. Is that joke?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How about this?
Yeah, that was great. Very clear. Crystal clear.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be right back. Why don't you read comments? And I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm on Brave, by the way, for people on Rumble.
Yeah, get off Brave. Go back to.
I'm on Brave. It's not working, right?
You know, it's weird. Once the stream starts, it just falls apart.
Oh, that's great. All right, folks. I'll be right back.
Try going back to Chrome. Yeah.
All right. Be right back.
Okay. Well, hey everybody. Let's see who's in the chat. Press M to start. Chris gonna need more than 1 cup of coffee if we're starting this early. Yeah. Just so you know, we're starting early because we have an event through the Critics' Choice Association, which Chris and I are members are. It's the freaking AAPI celebration of television and film. Because Asians have been reduced to letters now. We're all AAPI. Thanks a lot, white people. Love it. BMO better. You know, it is still strange feeling to not really be excited about movies as much as you used to be. I do hope this trend turns around. I hope so too. This weekend so far is a very mid weekend, and we'll talk about that later. Les Kindler, the first dance move I ever mastered. I have yet to master the Running Man. Olo Li Ukui, I want AI Chris breakdancing. Hey everybody, AI Chris breakdancing. Just throwing it out there. Johnny Trejo, a freaking IKEA chair. All right. Olo Li Ukui, Asians like Jews, Schrodinger's white people. Yeah, white people. Geek True 64. Yep, Chris's video should include The AOL dial-up sound. Yeah, you know, he has probably 500 free hours of AOL just sitting on his desk right now. All right. Let's see. Yep. And I believe he's back.
Yeah, how do I look?
Yeah, much better.
That's great.
Clear.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's
We've
great.
done all the chats.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's start the show. Let's start the show, folks. It's early in the morning. Alan and I will be doing a shorter show today. We will review The Running Man, among others, and we've got some news stories. So let's start with that. Let's get to it. Okay. First, I got to promote that I have an indie film panel at AFM. If you are attending the American Film Market, you should come to my panel. It's on Saturday at 5 p.m. at the Fairmont Hotel. It's and you can go to just look up American Film Market. I'm doing a panel there. It's the last weekend. It's been all this week. And I will be there with a all-star panel of indie filmmakers and producers. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Have you ever been to the American Film Market, Alan?
I have not. During COVID, I did virtual AFM, but that's been about it.
Yeah, but
I'd like to go one day.
I've been several times. It's where people sell their movies to different overseas markets, and you can get financing. A lot of it having to do with like who's in the movie is a big part of it. But go to AFM, you'll learn a lot. And I like to go to talk to filmmakers there. You know, they're doing screenings of their movies, and it's a great place to sell your film and or get financing for your movie. And I'll be there. So I'm going to see if I can film the panel and put it up for members only. So a quick reminder, if you are a member of the channel, you're enjoying all our exclusive content. If you're not, you should become a member. It's a great way to support the channel. And we literally have it at the cheapest setting. It's
literally.
It's the lowest you can charge. So please join. There you go.
By the way, what is your panel title?
I don't it's the panel title,
or what's the gist of the panel?
It's called Low Budget Big Vision Strategies for Independent Filmmakers.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
So there you go. All right, James Gunn has a movie coming out, Man of Tomorrow, and breaking news exclusive to The Wrap, the villain is Brainiac. Finally, Brainiac, we will see Brainiac on screen, and it seems like Lex Luthor teams up with Superman to fight Brainiac. Alan, you have the story from The Wrap. Give us what's in this article. The movie's coming out in 2027.
Yeah. Well, fans long suspected Brainiac would be the villain because the movie centers on a temporary alliance between two bitter enemies. Lex's hatred for Superman is so legendary that only an overwhelming threat could force cooperation. A pretty pronounced one, James Gunn teases. Gunn noted that Lex only cares about Lex, making it clear that something colossal must push him toward teamwork. Despite being one of Superman's most iconic villains, Brainiac has never been the main villain in a live-action film. He has repeatedly been passed over by Zod, Lex, and Doomsday. His inclusion is a huge deal for fans who rank him just under Lex as Superman's greatest threat. Gunn even shared the script cover page featuring a human skull with an exposed brain, heavily hinting at Brainiac. Brainiac's lore ties deeply with Superman's legacy and loneliness, with Kandor symbolizing a lost piece of Krypton he can never fully restore. This marks both DCU's most ambitious villain yet and the fulfillment of a decades-long fan wish. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe longer than that. Superman 5, there was a proposed script, and you can find a script reading of the Superman 5 script with Christopher Reeve. Brainiac was the villain in that, and they kind of changed Brainiac a lot for that. Added side characters, which was a little weird, but it's really worth it's really worth checking out. I think this whole thing, Brainiac, I like this idea of Brainiac coming in. What I don't like is teaming up with Lex Luthor after
In the second movie.
Yeah, in the second movie, after he murdered someone in cold blood in front of Superman's eyes. And I feel like they'll retcon that. Like that was not really the guy. It was a robot or something. And that guy is actually really alive. And he was just he conjured something from Superman's mind of a guy he met. And Lex was trying to push him. So he didn't really kill that guy. But I don't see how you come back from a cold-blooded murderer to like, I need your help. And also, I guarantee Brainiac will have some sidekick. It's not going to be him alone in a room talking to himself. He'll have some sidekick to talk to, and this will be an ensemble movie in the same way that the first Superman was. So, I mean, am I excited? I'm excited to see Brainiac, but not. I feel sad saying this. I'm not excited to see what's next in this universe, especially after Peacemaker season 2. Not excited. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like teaming up Lex and Superman in the second movie feels too fast. That personally, I would want at least one more continuation story before you start screwing around with the iconic characters here and their relationship with each other. Look, I don't know much about Brainiac except for what I've seen on television and on Super Friends. So I don't have a vested interest in this, but it feels like the first comic book run that I got into when I first started collecting comic books was X-Men, the Hellfire Club, followed up by the Dark Phoenix saga. And then when I heard that they were going to do the Dark Phoenix story in a movie, the first thing in my mind was, wow, they're going to screw this one up royally. They're not going to give me the Dark Phoenix story that I grew up with. And I feel like maybe people are going to feel that way with Brainiac. Are we going to get the real Brainiac, or are we going to get a cinema version of Brainiac?
It'll be the cinema version.
Yeah.
Hey, GQ announced their Man of the Year. They did. And in modern fashion, who do you think the Man of the Year is for
It's
GQ?
Glenn Powell, right?
Well, it's not a man, baby. It's Cynthia Erivo in the GQ, British GQ Man of the Year. Why are they? This whole gender confusion thing it's now gotten to preposterous. Look, here we go. Let's look at this. This is a montage of images of Cynthia Erivo. Can you see this, Alan?
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Okay.
Well, it's a man, baby.
Yeah, Cynthia Erivo is GQ, British GQ's Man of the Year. In case you were confused. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Well, all I know is that she's definitely defying gravity. Make that a YouTube short.
Oh,
you know I love movie trailers, Alan. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I like to share them with you. And I like to share your reaction. Well, guess what? there is a movie coming out. It's a documentary. I'm super excited about it because this company, it's called, okay, we're just going to watch this trailer, but I know a little bit about this company and we're just going to watch it. It's a trailer for a movie called Mockbuster. Okay, I'm sharing it with you now because I want to see your face. Here we go.
I just asked this company if they'd let me direct a film, and they said yes.
At our company, we make shitty movies. We're barely above porn.
They're known for making cheap clones of Hollywood hits. They call them mockbusters.
The Da Vinci treasure. Why do you want to do this?
Well, you gotta start somewhere. And action. There's been explosions, dinosaurs, battleships.
You can't film in front of a garage and say it's a battleship.
The actors that are doing accents try and get their performance a little more authentic.
Maybe you should try pissing in it.
Maybe a little more Russian.
Maybe you should try pissing in it.
I for one can't wait. I can't wait. I just I love movies about the film business. I know the Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've talked to people there. Anthony C. Ferrante, who created the Sharknado series, made that series through the Asylum. They admittedly they make shitty movies. That's what they do. And so I love that there's something about bad movies I admire. Like, what keeps you going? You know your movie is going to be bad. So I don't know. Going in with that awareness is kind of fun.
It's the power of low expectations.
Yes, the power of low expectations. Hey, we've seen the controversy with Sydney Sweeney and Christy Martin, the real life person who Christy is based on, came to defend Sydney Sweeney after she was attacked by Ruby Rose, and she had a statement. Alan, I know you've got the notes. Give it to me. Here's the article from Variety.
All right. Legendary boxer Christy Martin is publicly standing up for Sydney Sweeney as the biopic Christy struggles at the box office and sparks online attacks against its star. Martin, who was deeply involved in the film's production and joined Sweeney throughout the press tour, praised the actor's dedication in an Instagram statement. Quote, Sid not only worked her ass off for this film, I'd like to see that. She worked her ass off for me. She is a friend and ally. Christy debuted at just $1.3 million in North America on a $15 million budget, a disappointing turnout for a project carrying early Oscar buzz for Sweeney. After the week opening, social media users labeled Sweeney a flop, pushing the actor to release her own reflective statement. Sweeney emphasized that the purpose of the film was survivor advocacy, not box office numbers. She called Christy the most impactful project of her career, adding that the film raised crucial awareness about domestic violence. If Christy gave even one woman the courage to take the first step towards safety, then we have succeeded. Despite controversy and weak box office numbers, Christy continues playing in theaters via Black Bear as both Martin and Sweeney highlight the film's mission: survival, courage, and hope.
Well, look, people are at least still talking about this film. The Ruby Rose attack, which was unprovoked, I think is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. For Sydney Sweeney to keep being attacked by mainstream media and just smiling in the face of it. I don't know. To me, every attack on Sydney Sweeney sounds like someone jealous of the hot cheerleader that's dating the captain of the football team. Mm-hmm. It feels very high school for people to dislike Sydney Sweeney for her success, for trying to take down this movie, which I think when people see the movie will realize that Sydney Sweeney is more than just, her attractiveness, right? Her assets. physical assets. There's more to her. She produced the film along with the movie Immaculate. She develops content or develops films for herself. She's more than just an attractive woman. And I think with that kind of moxie, she'll get an Oscar nom. She could still potentially get a nomination for this movie. Plenty of movies that get Oscar nominations do not do well at the box office. A lot of them don't. So for them to come out, in fact, most of them are box office bombs. And part of the purpose of the awards is to call attention to a good film, a film worthy of your attention, a film that has something to say, a message that resonates with everyone, not a singular message or one part of the American public. This is a message that everyone can relate. You and I saw it, and I remember after the screening, like that was better than expected.
Yep.
And frankly, Sydney Sweeney in the movie is better than any of us thought, because by the trailer, it's like, oh, this is a go for your dream female boxer movie. Okay. All right. There's a lot more going on. So bravo to Sydney. And that's great that Christy Martin has come to her defense. Hey, I'm a fan of RRR. I haven't mentioned it in a while. Okay. I have not mentioned the absolutely brilliant, my favorite movie of a couple years ago, RRR, directed by SS Rajamouli. Well, guess what? He's got a new film, and I cannot wait. It currently does not have a title. So, but if you look up the hashtag Globetrotter, there is a teaser poster on SS Rajamouli's X account. I'm going to share it with you now. We can check it out. Here it is. Let me get that full screen so you can see the whole thing. This is it.
Hello.
It stars Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and it's currently untitled. And he has to say from his X account, the woman who redefined Indian cinema on the global stage. Welcome back, Desi girl, Priyanka Chopra. Can't wait the world to witness your myriad shades of Mandakini. So the film is currently untitled. This is the teaser poster for the movie. They're going to do an event this weekend, which, believe it or not, I was invited to this event in India, but I felt it was so important to be with my friend Alan at the Asian Cinema Awards. I remained here in the States so I could be with all of you.
Should have gone.
And my friend. Well, we talked about it, but they will announce this weekend and screen a teaser poster, and they'll announce the title in a big event happening in India this weekend. We'll talk about it next week. I, for one, am excited. So put this on your radar. SS Rajamouli is back, and it looks to be a rockin' action film. Alan,
I can't believe you gave up a moment or an opportunity to meet Nick Jonas.
Hey, let's get to some super chats, starting with holy cow, chicken wing, $99.99. Just sold my house. Thought I'd straighten out the boys. Love you guys. Chicken wing, thank you so much. We appreciate it. That is awesome. Wow. And congrats on selling your house. I wish I owned one, but I live in California. Thank you, chicken wing. You made my morning. Seriously, appreciate it. Alan, if you would.
Yeah, and Chicken Wing also follows up with $4.99. We've made it to Idiocracy.
Yeah, with the GQ cover. Yeah, Man of the Year, Cynthia Erivo. I love it.
Lord Comfort 2. If that's Man of the Year, I'm Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Geek True 64 for 5. When I worked at Blockbuster, Asylum movies like Transmorphers caused so many problems. Old ladies renting it for kids and then demanding a refund.
Yeah, Transmorphers or Top Gunner, like they're all so bad. But look, they're unabashed, like trauma films. They're unabashedly bad. They know they're bad. There's self-awareness. There's not some elitist, I'm better than you. It's like, we make shitty movies. Like, there's a market for that. So thanks, Geek Truth 64. We got to hear your stories. Got to get you on the show. Hear your stories about working at Blockbuster.
Lee Kindler for 499 saw Christy yesterday. Sydney is very good in it. Anybody who has been in a toxic relationship will relate to it.
Yeah, Lee.
Hopefully survive it.
Sydney Sweeney, I think she may she'll get an Oscar nom at some point.
Well, the question is, are there going to be 4 performances from women better than hers?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. MK Solid. At least I wasn't in Batwoman, Sydney Sweeney.
I wish Sydney Sweeney would say that. Thanks, MK Solid.
BMO Better. If Brainiac is just an Elon type villain, because of course the message, then yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I could see it going that way.
All right. Beer Source Rex. James Gunn presents James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow by James Gunn.
Of course. Hey, Alan, we have a lot of films to review. Let's get to them. You and I both saw Eternity.
Yes.
Eternity is it's a romantic drama that, well, why don't you tell the story?
Yeah. Well, Eternity follows the lives of Larry Cutler and his wife Joan. Starts with them going to their reveal party of their daughter's
gender reveal party
of their daughter, and Larry, played by Miles Teller, chokes on a pistachio nut and dies, and he ends up
pretzel.
Sorry, tiny pretzels. He dies. He winds up in kind of purgatory away. It's a train station, and he's in purgatory. He meets his consultant, and he has the opportunity to choose what eternity he wants to live in. Like there's a circus eternity, there's a mountain eternity. You get to choose where you get to spend the rest of eternity. Now Joan is sick, and Larry knows that she's gonna die soon, so he hopes to stick around by the time she does, and lo and behold, she does. She appears, and the two of them together, Elizabeth Olsen is Joan, and but the problem is Joan's first husband has been tending bar at the train station, and Luke, has been waiting for her for 67 years, and so now Joan has to make a decision. Which husband is she going to spend the rest of eternity with?
Well, let's talk about this. Elizabeth Olsen is she's very good in this. Miles Teller, they've got good chemistry. And what's funny is, so when you die, this movie is kind of like how Beetlejuice dealt with the afterlife in kind of a comedic way. With horror, this is almost like dealing with the afterlife in a comedic way without the horror element. It's like
I think defending your life is the better comparison.
Yeah, but what is
defending your life?
Yeah, it is. But it's like you end up in this purgatory that's like a bad trade show where they're all trying to, they're salesmen trying to promote their eternity. Come to Mountain Land, come to Queer World, come to Sunset Land, come to, like, you have to, it kind of sucks. You spend eternity in one kind of place.
So you better choose it.
And you see someone trying to escape. A museum world is boring. Like, it seems kind of weird that, like, you have to choose. This is the way it works. It's very funny, the world. The AC, or afterlife consultant, is this kind of side character, like they're the comic relief in the film. And Divine Joy Randolph plays Anna, which is Larry's AC, and John Early plays Ryan, who is Luke's AC. And yeah, but here in the performances of Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen, because they spent their lives together, they married young, and they were together they were married to the end of their lives. They're playing an old couple in young bodies because when you die, you emerge in eternity as the version of yourself that was at your most happy place, when you're the happiest in your life, which is why you see a lot of like 10-year-old boys, like there's like an opening scene where there's a 10-year-old boy in like an oversized suit. So because I saw it twice. It was the mystery movie on Monday, so I saw it again. Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen are playing old people in young bodies, and they're good. They've got real chemistry. I will say, this is like an old school, high concept romantic comedy they used to make. Hollywood doesn't really make. It's very earnest. It's Joan is really conflicted. Her first husband died tragically, lost too soon. And you might think she settled for Larry. They did build a life together. So it's her dealing with, it's a simple concept, really simple, seen it before. I do like the world building, even though it's kind of like, I don't know why they made this choice, but it's funny. We'll go with it. So in the end, I enjoyed it. Give it a recommend, not a strong recommend. If you like the genre of romantic comedy, this hits on a lot of levels. So I give it a decent recommend. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of Defending Your Life. It's just that it's where you reflect on your past. There's opportunities actually for them to look back at their lives before on Earth, and I agree with you that it reminds me of the rom-coms of the 50s and 60s. It's just very much about the relationship. It's very much about do you go with your first love, or do you go with the one you spent most of your life with, raising kids? And that's ultimately the question being asked here. And it really delves into their relationship between Larry and Joan, and Luke and Joan. And quite frankly, I didn't know where it was headed. And there is a moment in the film that could have gone super feminist,
right? But
they didn't do it. They just held true to a man and a woman who have been in love for a long time. And I think ultimately it's not the greatest movie ever made.
No, it's
a good movie. Hold on, it's a good movie. And it's it's just one of those movies that is just a nice comfort. It's comfort food.
Yeah,
You'll have a good time. You'll watch it, and and you'll feel very positive and happy about your life after it's over. Yeah.
So you know what this is? This is a great date movie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like, can we even say when this have been a good date movie? Take your girlfriend or your spouse, go to see this film. Guarantee you're going to walk out with warm, fuzzy feelings, and because it's very positive and earnest, and it's a very simple dilemma, and it plays out. Again, I didn't know where it was going. And the concept is, and also the ACs that they have, they're kind of a good, funny comic relief. There's some sort of just goofy humor with the whole trade show aspect of the different worlds, different eternities. So, if you're looking for a date film, we found one. We found one.
No, there was it was the Margot Robbie.
That was
Colin
good one
Farrell
too.
one. That's two.
Yeah, so we got two.
Like I said, there is a moment in the movie where you're going to roll your eyes and go, "Oh, modern times." And I say, don't fall into that trap. It's not going where you think it's going.
Yeah. It's just very earnest, and I wish Hollywood made more movies like this. Not everything has to be some Oscar contender or tentpole big budget thing. This is, like you said, a comfort food movie where you'd go to the theater and there'd always be an option like this to go see a film like a romantic comedy. And I feel that genre has fallen on like hard times,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, we don't
And the
see
good-
romances anymore.
Yeah, this is a pure romance for couples. And there is some gay humor in it that I found. The queer world was funny. They're
Yeah,
giving
but-
out pamphlets promoting their different, eternities. Let's go to comments here because we're doing a fast show today.
Yeah, let's do it. Or thought, can I spend eternity in the 80s? Yeah.
There's
You're
things
not wrong.
like that. There's like, disco world, and it's funny. It's just
I think there is an 80s world in there. Like
Yeah,
a techno
I think
80s
there
world.
is.
KB23B. Hey guys, going through a Doors phase again. Can't wait for the release of the Doors documentary. Release of the Doors documentary. When you restrange in theaters worldwide on the 4th of December. Love your reviews. The West is the best.
Well, thank you. We will go see the Doors documentary. Thanks, Kay.
Okay. David B. This sounds like you're going to hell and deciding where to spend eternity. Why would heaven make you choose? What a completely moronic concept. Come on,
it's you just buy it. Even the characters in the movie think this is stupid. They question it. So you are right. Be skeptical. It's just, Beetlejuice. Why does the rules of Beetlejuice work the way they work? It's high concept. It's fantasy, romantic comedy. It works. It works.
Yeah, and it's thematic. You're spending an eternity in one spot. Like you're spending an eternity with one person.
Yeah.
That's Geek Crew 64. Always funny when the top name on the poster don't match up with the characters on the poster. I've noticed that. I know it has to do with top billing order, but it's still funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hate that too.
I was just literally when I saw the poster at the theater yesterday, I was thinking the exact same thing. MK Solid. Basic Instinct is Alan's favorite romance. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Like this, I love love triangles, and that one had one.
There you go. Hey, I saw Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
I saw it too.
Oh boy. It's like Ocean's 11, but with magicians pulling off heists. And I'm gonna be honest. I never saw the first two movies. This is the third film in the series, and it's got a wide-ranging cast. The cast is pretty amazing. You've got Jesse Eisenberg as Atlas, Morgan Freeman as Thaddeus Bradley, Dave Franco as Jack Wilder, and there are these magicians called the Horsemen, and they're legendary. Woody Harrelson plays Merritt McKinney. They've each got a different skill. Dave Franco with cards. Jesse Eisenberg pulls off illusions. Woody Harrelson is about hypnosis. They've all got their different strengths, and they use these magical illusions to pull off heists. Kind of dumb, but whatever. I'll buy it. A sort of new crew ends up in the mix, played by Justice Smith, Dominic Sessa, and Ariana Greenblatt. They're young magicians and illusionists that admire the Horsemen, and they pull off a heist of their own using illusions in the beginning of the movie, and they steal a bunch of crypto from crypto bros who rip people off to give it back to the people and redistribute the wealth. And this movie is so okay. If you've seen the trailer, you know the concept. I've laid it out. Heist using illusion. Here's the annoying thing about this movie. You know what I'm going to say? They're social justice magicians. It's so infuriating. This is a movie that seems like 5 years too late. It's the whole obnoxious, preachy nature. The villain is played by Rosamund Pike. She plays Veronica Vanderberg, whose family had roots in the Nazis, and she mines diamonds, blood diamonds, And of course, everything is about them pulling off illusions and heists to do the greater good, or what they see as the greater good. The film, it's so simplistic in nature, it might as well have been made for children. I mean, it's just so god awfully dumb. And also, by the way, I like magic shows. In Vegas, I've seen Penn and Teller live. It's great. It's great spectacle live. It doesn't work in a movie for me because it's a movie. How is that? I mean, I like the David Blaine specials, whatever. Those are kind of weird. We all know the trickery in that is kind of BS. It's the way it's edited. But wow, I found this movie to be obnoxious in its kind of just the way it pushed this social justice, redistribute wealth, take down the people who have this history of. I was rolling my eyes so many times watching this film. It was infuriating. Alan, did you have the same reaction that I did?
Well, before I review Nice to See Me Down, You Done, I have a question to ask you.
Yes.
Is this your card?
Oh my God. That's so, it's so, yeah, like exactly like it's like, it's impressive in a live show. It's impressive with the David Blaine because it's done kind of, shot semi-reality TV. In a movie, magic tricks aren't really that impressive because it's a movie. So I'm sure to make a third film, the first two must have been.
Yeah, let me talk about the first two.
Please.
The third movie is exactly like the first two movies.
Yeah.
But I'll give. Okay, so I've seen the first two movies. I like magic. In fact, I studied magic for, back in the 90s. So I bought books. I was really into it. And then I got married and didn't do it anymore. And what I appreciate about this movie is that what I appreciate and don't appreciate about the movie is it makes an attempt to solve the crime, to pull the heist, to do the con in a way that is plausible. I'd say 50% of the time they get it wrong. Like in the second movie was insane because they would throw a cape and they would disappear. And that, you can't do it the way they did it. In this one, I think it comes a lot closer to the reality of illusionists. In terms of, I can see how they do that, or I can see that could have been pulled off. And you see, I think this third one, it feels more grounded to actual magic and illusions than the first two movies. I don't know if you remember, but there was a scene in the middle of the movie when they're in the mansion and they're doing, they're passing off a trick. Basically, they're in a room and everyone's doing a trick. And it's done in one shot. Kind of, but I would say that is probably the best I've seen because the whole franchise has had that one scene, and that pretty much comes close to, I think, what they could have really been doing these tricks that you see in it. And so, look, the bottom line is, I'm a fan of the first two movies. I like this one. It's good, dumb fun. It is there. You cannot take this movie seriously. The so-called social justice theme, you see that in all movies made by Democrats and liberals over time. It's just the plot device. Of course, the only safe villain in the world are Nazis, and so they go that way. They do try to pass on the Horsemen to a younger generation. Don't know if that's going to work well. I think Rosamund Pike was my favorite character, and she just for an actress of her stature to play this over the top, Nazi role was great to see. You just go in, you unplug your brain, you watch it, and there you go. So I give it a bare recommendation.
Well, my brain was still functioning when I walked in the theater, and it was short-circuiting by the end. I can't recommend this movie at all. I have no interest in seeing the other movies in the series. And Jesse Eisenberg is just obnoxious as this egotistical,
yeah.
narcissistic.
Then
That's his character.
He's done a good job carrying the character through 2 movies. I will say the worst part of this movie is the ending, and I'm talking about the post-credit where Mark Ruffalo appears. And
you ruined it.
Oh no! And then, but I recently watched a video on YouTube. I say that because I want to credit the guy. I don't know who he is, but he examined the first 2 movies and basically said, are these characters wizards or magicians? And he goes through and saying basically the veracity of, can these people really pull off what they're doing? And I think for the most part, they're wizards. They couldn't really do this in real life. But again, this movie, I think, comes closest to making them magicians versus wizards.
I just got annoyed that every time they would walk in a room, because there's like, what, 7, 8 characters. They walk in, they all stand directly in a line, like they're on stage. You know what I mean?
Or in a triangle for perfect
coverage. Triangle where they're all like positioned perfectly as if they're on a stage. When they're just hanging out somewhere. It was really no, I despise this movie, and like I can't recommend it at all.
Yeah. And full of plot holes. There's so many plot holes in this thing.
So many plot holes. And I predict the money at the box office will disappear. Let's go to comments.
Red French Moon. The first one was fine, but why a sequel? I don't even know. I saw the second one. Yeah, second one is very weak. And that was John M. Chu who did it. Dr. D-Man 21, Fast and Furious with magicians. Yep. A Running Man is an 8 out of 10, says, I couldn't wait to get out of the cinema when this trash film finished. Low expectations. That's how you get through these things. Caravaggio, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the Rachel Zegler story.
That's right.
Magic.
Let's get to our main event, The Running Man. Alan, tell me the story of The Running Man.
The Running Man.
Well, the Edgar Wright's version of the story with Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Not sure if you noticed my shirt. This is Glenn Powell from the various Glenn Powell films. But give me the story of The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell, made by Edgar Wright. The remake or the reimagining, because this is based more on the book, the Stephen King book. All right, give it to me.
Glenn Powell stars as Ben Richards. He's a father. He has a daughter who's very sick, and because he exposed the company he worked for on several occasions for several companies, he is on the blacklist. He can't get work. So the only way he can make money to get the medicine for his daughter is to appear on a game show. And so he's just kind of watching television, marking down game shows. But the one that stands out is The Running Man, where he could win $10 billion, new dollars, if he can survive 30 days of being hunted. And he tells his wife, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The wife is going to go get a sketchy job in order to pay for medicine. He decides he can't let that happen. He's going to go down to the network and get on one of these game shows. And Josh Brolin plays the executive producer who sees him in line and says, that's our running man. That's the guy who's going to be the running man for the last run of the season. He's also accompanied by Katie O'Brien, who plays, who's also going to be in the Running Man. And then that kid from Saturday Night Live, who's no longer on the show. He's the third one. And those two are going to get killed off right away. Sorry. But the whole movie now is about Glenn wanting to earn money for his daughter so she can live. He enters the game. There's all these rules to it. They give him a little bit of money so he can get costumes and things like that. But he also has to record testimonials, like reality shows, put them in mailboxes, do it once a day, or
he has to do it's like proof of life, right?
Life.
Like he has to once a day do a video of where he is and send it into the show.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, he has allies along the way. But that's, you've seen Arnold's version. This is a much more grounded version. There's no military conspiracy going on here. This is a story about class. It's about the rich and the poor, and the rich. It's the Colosseum. The rich watching the poor try to survive, and that's I'll let you talk about it. But to me, in my mind, was the first Running Man was campy and over the top. This one is campy but dramatic.
And guess what? That's the mistake. It's campy and dramatic, and the tones don't match. Right. I can't believe Edgar Wright directed this. The guy who, if you go back and watch Baby Driver, that movie has heart. It's so expertly directed in the way it portrays the action, the soundtrack, and the music. It's so good, and I love the Edgar Wright's early work, of course, is so good, and this is a mess. And it's this future dystopian world that it's like Timu Minority Report. That's what it felt like. And Glenn Powell's character is, they spend all this time in the beginning, my sick kid, and you see him with his wife. They just do not seem like a couple. He's super blue collar, working class, and she's like this very beautiful.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Very beautiful woman dressed elegantly as a waitress who, she could go down a dark path to make more money, but she doesn't. And they just do. I don't buy them as a couple. I'm sorry. I just don't. And so much of this movie just didn't work. Coleman Domingo as the host was just, he's no Richard Dawson, I feel like the camp of the first one is a lot like reminiscent of RoboCop, in the sense that it's over the top satire. You get it. And this is just, the tones don't mix, just doesn't in the end, really. And the ending, which we won't talk about, we'll talk about it on Monday on Versus when more people have had a chance to see it. But the ending, just, there's so many logic things having to do with the ending, and then also like just with, well, how did this, wait, what?
Yeah.
Josh Brolin is actually very good as the, show producer. It's kind of over the top evil. He pulls that off, but my God, this film is an utter mess. It's gruesome and comedic, but it's a mix of tones that don't work. Now you can mix tones, right? But I feel like it's overly dramatic here and then satirical and ridiculous. And they might have, there's a really good scene in the beginning where they're doing a psychological profile of Glenn Powell's character, right? Ben Richards. Is that his name?
Yes.
Ben Richards. Yeah. And they give him words. It's like they're playing this word association, and you get to know who he is right off the bat. Why not start the movie there? They have all this backstory. They're poor. Their daughter's sick.
Yeah, you have to build sympathy for 20 minutes.
You build sympathy. It's like, I get it. He's holding a baby. He's holding his baby who he brought to his old work to beg for his job back. I mean, like, just, it's like everything was so on the nose. And as soon as they they just spelled everything out, which got annoying. And the side characters, they spend way too much time with the side characters. Like, one of the characters has like a YouTube channel. This guy, Bradley Throckman, played by Daniel Ezra, has this, YouTube channel where he exposes the Running Man. Michael Cera also plays this kind of obsessed with the Running Man show, who's trying to help him with weapons. He's way too gleeful about taking out the hunters. They're just insufferable. Man, just so much of this movie. I couldn't wait for this movie to be over. I could not wait. Even though I really you don't have to convince me to like Glenn Powell or feel sorry for him. I already like him because you cast him. That's why you cast actors like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I like him. I like Stallone. You've already established I like this guy. You don't need to have more sympathy by my baby's dying of cancer. I get it. I just oh my God. It doesn't even feel like it feels like an Edgar Wright movie where he may have been messed with a lot, or it felt like he didn't care. He had probably so many notes, and the movie is just he does a terrible job world building. I compare this to Sinners. Sinners, there's no comparison between these two movies. The first 10 minutes of Sinners, the world building is so amazing. You get where characters fit in the world, what the world is, what the stakes are. And in this, everything seems forced. And again, like I said, Temu Minority Report. I did not like this film at all. I'm very disappointed because I do really enjoy Edgar Wright as a filmmaker, but I feel like this movie feels noted to death. It feels like they recut it a bunch of different ways, and the end result is a mess. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah. Okay, so the obvious comparison is to the first one. The first one, the reason it worked is because it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle. Yes. It was a movie. Yes, it was based on a Stephen King novel, but it was a movie designed and tailored for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And there was an era in films where we had superstars, movie stars that drew people because they were in the movie. And the first Running Man drew people because Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the movie. And so you bought into the campiness. You bought into just this outrageous story that you're about to see. The issue here is, Glenn Powell is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. We like him. We feel instant sympathy for him when he appears on screen. But it's like Predator, where the first Predator movie was an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle. But now it's like, no, there's such gold in the story. In the Running Man, we're going to go back to King's version. In the Predator, who cares about Arnold? We want backstory of what a tough life it is to be a hoocha or whatever they're called. That being said, I understand why people like Predator Badlands, because it has the flashing images, the action, a very thin story behind it. And that's kind of the way I felt about watching this. I didn't hate it like you, but as a film critic, they're two easy movies to review. It's really good movies and really bad movies. And this one just falls right in the center there. Because I could tell you things I like about it. I could tell you things I don't like about it. The things I like about it are those flashing images, the action, the how is he going to pull this off? He's being chased. How is he going to get out of it? You're looking at it as a pure action movie. I think you're going to have fun with this. If you're looking for some kind of depth, if you're looking for some homage, you really love Stephen King, I guess you're going to want to see it. But there's something, but when you compare it to the first movie, it pales in that comparison.
Yeah, it's the first movie.
But at
also,
the same time, hold on. But at the same time, if this movie came on television, I'd probably sit down and watch it again. I didn't hate this movie. I didn't feel like I need to rush out of the theater, and I didn't feel like I never want to see this again. But at the same time, we're spending millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on these movies. You should make me feel a little bit better than that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the original had Arnold and also Richard Dawson.
That was the reason.
His character, Richard Dawson's character in the original, was built because it was like a farcical, satirical version of who he was on Family Feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made the show Family Feud. You tuned in to see him make snarky remarks to the family, and now it's an over-the-top version of that.
And Coleman Domingo didn't give you that.
Yes, he did not. He did not. And so, look, no one is going to remember this version. They will always remember the Arnold version. And the fact that so much money was spent to do this and they couldn't get the world building right, like, it didn't work for me. Now, at the screening I went to, which was packed in IMAX, it kind of the ending fell flat with people. And it was a mixed reaction. Some people enjoyed it, to be fair. Some people at the screening I was at, they really enjoyed it. I did not. So I cannot recommend it. And I'm disappointed because I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it. And I really love Edgar Wright as a filmmaker. But wow. He has...
This should have been a great movie, and it's a mediocre movie.
At the end, it's a mediocre movie for me. Cannot recommend. What about you?
Yeah, like I said, there's so much story potential in this in the story, and to just produce a mediocre movie, it gets that bare recommendation. But I like you. I'm disappointed.
Let's go to comments.
Beersaurus Rex. The only way I'd see this is if it leaned into the corniness of the Arnold version, but I've heard it's all over the place in tone. Yeah, I've heard that too.
Is correct. Yeah, that's accurate.
Someone I heard said that. Yeah.
Matt G became a new YouTube member. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Steven Anguiano. For $1.99, they should have got Steve Harvey.
Yes, that would have been a great. Steve Harvey would have been perfect.
Or Wayne Brady, maybe. Rummel Hotep. How much message is in this movie? Interesting enough, there is black. He's in the ghetto. There are black characters. There are white characters. But I didn't hear them mention race at any point in this movie.
Now, the poor people are very diverse, but that's actually, I think, accurate.
That's true.
To real
That's true in real life.
That's actually accurate in real life, so that's fine.
But race was never made a thing. Even the Coleman Domingo character, it was never a thing that you need to call out and that white people are bad. It's rich people. It's rich people who are bad in this movie. The Immortal Remus. I feel like Glenn Powell is being pushed by Hollywood now a little bit like Jared Leto, or how some wrestlers get pushed to the moon and the fans don't take to them.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's always about the vehicle you're in.
I still like Glenn Powell, but yeah.
The Immortal Remus follows up and says, what I loved about the original adaptation was Arnie's Ben Richards starts off as a cog in the authoritarian machine before becoming the reluctant hero of the story, which to me is better than the book. Yeah. We see him after he had become the reluctant hero. Or Bimo Better. This is the third review that says something about tone. I'm wondering how Edgar Wright made this mess.
Yeah, I mean, that is the takeaway, is the tone is a mess and doesn't work.
I think you're right. I think he got noted to death. I mean, think about, would you have seen Edgar Wright's Ant-Man if he had been given complete creative control?
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, absolutely. Tokadat Razor. Campy and dramatic, just like the book.
Well, I haven't read the book, but hey, we're going to save some of these reviews till next week, but we can end on this. Alan, you saw a movie called Naked as Created, the Pastor Jim story. This is a real movie made by, I'm just going to say, made by nudists. What? This is an indie film? Is there nudity in the movie?
There is a lot of nudity in this movie. There are boobs and pee-pees in this movie.
Oh my God, Alan.
And this
what
is
are you gonna?
Okay, first of all, this is an award this nominated movie from our friend Tim Chidmer.
in the category of WTF. Like,
yes.
How did this movie get made?
Yeah, so the story is of it's a true story of Pastor Jim Moore, who is a young minister, just joined a church. He's he works as one of the associate pastors. And one day, after Sunday service, he's approached by a congregant who says, "I need you to come to my house, and I need you to give me clarity on this." So he goes to her house, and her family is a family of nudists, and she needs to understand, what does the Bible say about nudism, and is she committing a sin? And Jim is now conflicted because in his past life he was a nudist, but then he became a Christian and pushed away that part of his life, and now that part of his life is coming back, and he decides he's going to go through the Bible and go through all Scripture to understand, what does God say about being a naturalist, a nudist. And his conclusion is that God actually supports it, actually encourages it, as long as it's not taking you down the road of sexual impropriety or sexual sexual sin. Be a nudist, be whatever you need to be. And so he decides that there's a nudist resort nearby who needs a pastor, and throughout the course of the film, it's him becoming the pastor of this nudist resort and dealing with the backlash from his current church, feeling betrayed that this nudist now is a part of our pastor. Of course not. And so there's all that tension there. So if you've ever seen one of Tim's movies, it's very low budget, and you'll see it in there. I believe it was filmed, they had to reshoot, find a new location after the fires. And then also, I don't think there are a lot of A-list actors who A, want to do a Christian film, and B, want to do it as a nudist. And so your acting quality is suspect. I'll just say this: the gospel's preached. Yes, the main character is naked when he preaches the gospel. You're going to have a very thoughtful biblical discussion throughout the film. But everyone's naked, and that's why we got it in the WTF category.
Well, is it good? It's not good nudity. These are just average people being naked.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sydney Sweeney is not in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so.
Look, let me speak to it from a theological standpoint, since that's my bag. In terms of its theology about nudism and naturalism, you have to be careful to not read the Bible and interpret verses to support your viewpoint. You've got to look at all verses in context, what's being said versus the verses isolated, and then interpreting it there. And I think that's the problem of the theology of this, is that I'm not saying that nudity or nudism is a sin, but I can tell you the Bible really doesn't address the subject specifically. It does address lust and sexual immorality, but as far as I've read the Bible many times, I've studied the Bible, in terms of saying that yes, God is absolutely for nudism. At best, the Bible is silent on the subject. So,
well, this is the first faith-based nudist film we've ever reviewed on the show, and Sons of Shadows has a legit question. Sons and Shadows asks, did this movie get a rise out of you?
Yes, like Easter.
Let's go to comments.
Pajuda 615. No fig leaves covering the people's naughty bits. That's the whole point. You don't need a fig leaf. Laura Buckles, sadly, in real life, the nudists aren't the ones you want to see nude.
Well, there you go. And we're going to leave it there. Want to thank our mods. Want to thank Lori, Atomic Lori, and MK Solid, Lord Thoth, Glenn Uccio, Alan. I'll see you in a few hours.
Yeah.
Apologies, folks. We are ending the show early today. So, but we will be back next week. The movies we did not get to today, we're going to move to next week. Shows at the normal time next week. We'll be back. So, any final words to say, Alan, that you'd like to share with people before as we wrap up the show? And I want to apologize to people for the technical issues I've been having. I reached out to StreamYard. I set up everything on Brave. I don't know what is going on. My internet is fine. My camera is fine. I don't understand this issue, but I will continue to work to get it fixed. So there you go.
I'll just say that Wednesday we've got some really good guests coming up.
Yes, next week we have Uwe Boll on the show. And Justine Bateman will be coming on in December. So get your questions ready for her.
Is she coming on Versus, or are we gonna? Or is she
No,
coming on?
she's going to be on Hollywood on the Rocks.
Okay.
We're going to do a whole show with her.
Cool.
You ready for that?
I am ready for that.
Okay, great. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday on Versus. Thank you to your generous super chats. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We'll talk to you next week. Appreciate all of you. And Alan?
Let's get out of here.
And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.